Hey, Shalom. Kalallah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Bahashem Rakah HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone of GMS that do rule well and that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. To you I say Shalom, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect. So, I was just watching this video called Expect More People to Be on Demon Time in These Last Days, Part 2. And this was posted by GMSDedication. Link will be in the description, Lord willing. And, the brother was just counseling brothers to walk in the Spirit and move with wisdom in these last days, because demons are on these people more than ever right now. Because we're at the end. We're at the end of an age. So these demons are busy, man. And there's a lot of spirits out here that are really set up to appease the Lord's wrath. And you have to view your people, unfortunately, this is just how it is. You have to view your people as enemies, man, because they're not involved in the truth. And they're not about serving Yahweh Bashim Yeshai. So you have to see them as enemies, man. You have to keep your distance. And especially the so-called black woman. Hey, Micah 7 and 10 is on point, because this goes into the woman. The so-called black woman ain't right. She ain't right. Talking about the so-called black woman that's in the world. She ain't fucking right, man. And in this situation right here, a McDonald's employee pretty much murdered her manager, her McDonald's manager, right? I believe her name was Jennifer Harris. And she left behind 6 children. Now, this woman that you see with the red hair, she murdered her. Right? She murdered her. And before the murder, she went on social media voicing her frustration about how she was always being sent home early. She wasn't getting enough hours. She was being belittled and talked down to, being treated like a child. And, that made her snap. So after she finished making her post on social media, her video or whatever, she went to the job and stabbed her manager to death, man. And it's unfortunate, but it played out. It happened. But I'll say this: all the ways of the Lord are judgment, and whoever perished being innocent. So it was just judgment. But it just shows you, man, our people, they have a hatred towards one another, but really, they're your enemies. They're your enemies. Now, let me get a precept. Let's get Micah. Man. Micah 7 and 10. This just proves that the so-called black woman is your enemy. And, you brothers, man, you may be at work, on the job, whatever, and the black woman may be over you. And you may notice, man, like she's on a power trip. If she's in a bad mood, she has to express it and take it out on you. The job is harder because she's not in a good mood. I've been through that. Right? She's side by side with Esau. Esau's oppressing you, and then she's oppressing you too. And she's like the lapdog for the so-called white man. Hey, and that goes back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, man. It goes back to Eve and the serpent, when they were in the garden, man. Because Eve went to the serpent to get the understanding of the left-hand side. And they became friends. And then she went up against Adam, man. She usurped authority over the man. And that's exactly what's happening in these last days, man. Look at this society. Who is it governed and ran by? The so-called white man. And what does he do? He sets up these programs to put these women in positions of power. And when they get that power, they destroy their homes. And then they destroy their families. And then they oppress their children, and then they oppress their husbands. So it's the same thing, man. There's nothing new under the sun. And that's what's taking place. But, hey, the Lord, he prophesied that these things were going to happen. He prophesied that. Especially when you go into Isaiah 3 and 12, it talks about how children and women will be our oppressors. When you go into Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, a woman shall compass a man. Hey, and that's a new thing on the earth. And why that happened? Because you men are out of order. So we have to pay, man. We have to pay. We have to pay. But it is what it is. This is Micah chapter 7, verse 10. And it says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it. So, yeah, you see it says she that is mine enemy. And she is talking about Eve, the woman of the tribes. Starting with the so-called black woman, yes, and the Native American woman, and the Hispanic woman, or the Spanish woman from you Spanish-speaking tribes. You guys are demons, man, and you're our enemies. You're against it. You're against your man. And you're siding with the so-called white man. And shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? That's right, and she's mocking you, and especially if you're a man of the Lord. Oh, you still believe in God? When are you going to stop believing in this Hebrew Israelite garbage? It's either me or the Most High. Who are you going to pick? Here's the ultimatum. You got to pick me. That's how she's coming, man. Or she just steps out on you. She's a walker. She can't keep her legs closed. She's just a fucking bitch. But she's your enemy, and the Lord is telling you through Micah, the prophet. He's telling you. So, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Yeah, that's right. You're going to be trampled down in the streets. And you know when that's going to play out? During the time of Jacob's trouble. And when the missiles drop, man. And all these plagues come about on the earth. That's when she's going to be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And you know what mire is? Mire is shit. Mire is shit. And that's because she is shit. You have a shitty attitude, so you're going to get a shitty death. And rightfully so. And that's called justice. An eye for an eye. And the Lord set that up. All his ways are judgment. Can you believe that? We got a precept. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12 here. And it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. The way of thy path is really you going into the old paths. And the so-called black woman and these babies kids, they're not involved in the truth. They don't want to get involved with the old path, the old way of doing things. Going into the scriptures, rehearsing the righteous acts. They don't want to do that. What do they tell you to do? Especially the so-called black. And she tells you to go to university and get a degree. Get a job. When your job is to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's the whole duty of man. And then when you do your real job, you be a man and you serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, she's against you. Remember, this is our profession. Scriptures calls this a profession, what we're involved in. This is a job. You brothers, you have multiple jobs, man. You have lots of jobs. Brothers are a jack of all trades, man. Doing everything. Brothers are serving the Lord, and you're putting on your Clark Kent, and you're the family man, or maybe you're with your parents or whatever. Maybe that's the case with you. And then you help your parents out, and then you got to go to work, and then you got to probably go to school. You're the jack of all trades, man. You got all the jobs. But they don't see it that way. But anyways, I'm kind of venting. I don't want to go off topic. We're kind of ranting and venting, but it says here, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy past. True. And they're in positions of authority, and a woman shouldn't be in a position of authority, because when she's in a position of authority, it's all about her emotions, because that's how she moves. Women are fueled by their emotions. They don't use logic. If she comes to work having a bad day and she's over people, everybody's got to feel bad. And that goes into a woman's scorn. If a woman ain't happy, nobody's happy. But that's not how men move. You know, when men aren't happy and they gotta do a mission, or they gotta do the job, they just suck it up and deal with it. That's not that's not in the DNA of a woman. She's not built that way. So that's why she shouldn't be in a position of authority. And you can see it right here. You know, she got all clamorous, got all caught up in her emotions. She disrespected her employees, and now she lost her life because she wasn't moving in the spirit. You know, and she just wasn't a man. She just wasn't strong to maintain. That's it. That's it, man. Let me get another one. This is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 22. And it says, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." And that's true. A woman shall compass a man. These women are put into positions of authority. They're over you. Yeah, so the Lord, he set this up. You know, he prophesied that this is going to happen. And guess who he used? He used a so-called white man to execute this prophecy. Yeah, he did. Because the so-called white man, he gives these women perks. He gives them something called DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. He gives them all these incentives to be independent. Especially going into, what's it called? Section 8 and child support. In order for them to get that, they got to be an independent woman, and they got to kick out their man. And then when they become independent, when they leave their man, they wax worse. They destroy their homes. They destroy their families. Yeah, that's why look at the so-called black community. Look at it. It's all single parent households, man. And who's in charge? The mom. And the children are miserable. The community's miserable. All this fucking crime. All low self-esteem. Strung out on drugs, getting drunk all the goddamn time. Then you become menaces to society. And who do you have to thank for that? So-called black woman, man. Because she's strong and independent. A lot of people, when they watch this, they think I'm just talking shit about the so-called black woman. But the proof is in the pudding. It's there. Look at all the facts and the statistics. It doesn't lie. It's the truth. And we're bringing it out in the scriptures. So if you have a problem with this, you have a problem with God, and you have a problem with facts. And the Lord deals with facts. Hey, Hebrews 13:8, Yahushua is the same yesterday. He is the same today. He is the same forever. Micah 3:9, I, Yahweh, change not. If the Lord changed, Jacob would be consumed, man. So the Lord deals with facts. If you can't get that, then you got problems. You got problems. But anyways, man, you know what's going to cure that? The missiles and the plagues and destruction, man. That's when you people are going to shut up. Hey, my people will be willing in the day of thy power. Then you're going to shut the fuck up, you people, man. Okay? You fucking bimbos, man. Especially you women, you bimbos. You're going to shut up. Now let's get another one. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Just going back to the brother's point. You know, you got to be in the spirit. Because we're not up against flesh and blood. We're up against principalities. You know what that is? Demons. Legions. Not just one demon. You know, it's not just a demon that's on people. It's multiple demons on these people. These people are possessed. Look at this woman, man. This woman's possessed. For you to dye your hair like an anime character, you have demons on you. Multiple demons. It's not even your real hair color, but you're going out in the public looking like that, man. You got demons on you. So this is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, looks like Ronald McDonald. You know, it suits you because you work at fucking McDonald's. You got red hair now. Looking like Ronald McDonald. Fucking clowns. You see, that's our people, man. They're either killers or clowns. Killers and clowns, man. That's our nation, man. Killers and fucking clowns. Okay? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. True, you got to put on the whole armor. What does the whole armor encompass? The name of the Lord. 2 names to be exact. The first name being Yahweh, which means he is to be. That's the name of the Heavenly Father. Second name being Yahweh Shai, which means he is the deliverer. That's our Lord and Savior, our mediator, Yahweh Shai. So you got to call upon those names. You got to put on those names, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You know, the wiles go into the traps and the snares. And if you get trapped and snared out here, that could cost you your life. Just by you not applying wisdom in a certain situation. You're either locked up or you're 6 feet deep. And in this woman's case, she's 6 feet deep because she didn't apply wisdom. So she got trapped up. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. There you go. So you're up against witches and warlocks, necromancers, and demons, man. Right? Yeah, that's what you're up against. Because we live in a very spiritual world. And right now, the world is evil. And there's a demonic spirit on this world. That's Satan. He's ruling. It's not a godly spirit that is on this world right now. No, it's a demonic spirit. So you got to watch out. You got to protect your neck. Verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. There you go. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of thy salvation. So that's just something to think about. And lastly, let's go into Zechariah. You know, 2/3 gotta go. 2/3 gotta go. And 2/3 in America, you're going to be destroyed, man. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Bible. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. This is Zechariah chapter 13 and 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. You see? 2/3. That's 66.6% of the nation of Israel. They're going to be cut off. The ones of you that are in America, you're going to be cut off. You're going to die. You know how you guys are going to die? A majority of you are going to die by the lake of fire, ICBMs, hypersonic missiles that are coming from Russia, China, North Korea, and these different Arab countries, man. That's how you're going to go out, with a big bang. But the third shall be left therein. That's talking about the 1/3. The 1/3 is the elect. And the 144,000, of course. Revelation, the 7th chapter. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined. That's right. You're going to be purified from all those impurities. The Lord is going to clean you up. You know how you get cleaned up? By going through that fiery trial, which is affliction, righteous affliction. That's found in the book of Peter's as well. I think it's either 1 Peter's or 2 Peter's, but it's 4 and 12. You got to go through the fiery trial. And don't think it bizarre. See, that's why you brothers are going through a lot of tribulations. That's why you're losing all the time. Because you're being purified. You're being purified, and he's building you up for that day. For that day. Okay? All right, man. And it says, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. Beautiful. So with that, hope this was edifying. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, that belongs to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS, that rule well and that do teach well. And shalom unto the hopeful act. Kwame Yashala Baba Shalom.